Live. I just got the update on my phone.
All right. What up, party people? It's your boy Mutt-Man, and it's also Macho Dan. What's up, dude?
What's up, man? Just chilling.
We did a cool interview with our new friend Will.
Yep.
Yeah, and he did a really cool interview. I thought it was good. He's going to drop it tomorrow, so he's been talking about it a little bit on Twitter, and we'll get to see that. And I think it did pretty good. We got to talk about some things that we don't normally get to talk about because he asked us some interesting questions, didn't you think?
Yeah, I thought it was some good questions. Sorry, I'm trying to get the chat up, and already Sean is in here.
What up?
Nobody is home, but he's just back here on Indiegogo right now. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, it was. He really got into some good questions that sometimes we don't get to answer on live streams, or whatever, or interviews.
Yeah.
And it was good. Yeah, I thought it was fun.
So we got to give a shout out to Sean R2D2 for Life. Some of the funniest tweets I've ever seen in my life have been coming through
Today.
It's been like mega super funny tweet day.
It was so funny. Well, and I was with some folks from about 9 a.m. to about 3 p.m. today, and I didn't really have access to my phone during that time.
Yeah.
And I was like, it gives you, like, if you reach 25 tweets that you're attached to, then it gives you like 25 like plus more.
Yeah.
And and I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And I clicked it and it was just tweet after of great like 80s celebrity endorsements.
Oh, that's awesome. It was great. I don't know which one was my favorite though. I kept trying to look at them like, which one is my favorite? I'm going to retweet them all. I like what I do, Sean, just so you know, this is my strategy. You have a lot of followers, and so when you tweet, I let it marinate, let it simmer, let it marinate a little while out there, right? And then right when it starts to die down, then boom, I'd retweet it to my followers. So
see, I'm one of those guys that doesn't won't remember that. If I'm like, I'm gonna let it simmer, 30 seconds later, I'm like, look at the color of that car. Oh my gosh.
Squirrel.
And I've forgotten exactly what I was trying to do.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'll never go back and do it. So I have to hit retweet right away, or it will never happen.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I do. And with all the guys, well, okay. So like with some of these guys that don't have a huge following, the thing to do for you guys that are watching that might be watching later that are campaigners or thinking about getting into a campaign, and you're using Twitter as a platform. If someone is tweeting about you and have a big follower count, let that baby simmer for a little bit. They got a good count. Their audience is seeing it or not seeing it depending on time of day. And then you retweet it at a hot spot time, like a 6 p.m. Eastern time or a 3 p.m. or maybe noon, to your audience. It just kind of like, it sort of like gets the most out of those things. I do that. I don't do that perfectly, but that's one strategy that I like to use.
That's good. So the one that you said going live in 5 minutes, I should just wait.
No, see, you don't get it. You're not following.
The Ruby one that he just put up 10 minutes ago.
Which one?
It's Ruby Road, I guess, from The Fifth Element.
Oh yeah.
So good.
Yeah, I like that one too.
That's one of my. I love that movie so much.
Fifth Element, right? Like, it's a great movie.
Great movie. It's Bruce Willis. It's an amazing movie.
And Mia, what's her name?
What's her name? Resident Evil. Girl.
Yeah.
Who's the dude? The evil guy is so good.
Gary
Oldman.
Yeah, that's right. Gary Oldman.
So good. That's probably one of my favorite Gary Oldman performances.
Yeah, Gary Oldman's got range, man. I mean, like he goes from some of these real serious characters to a character like that, which is real over the top and wild.
Yeah,
cool.
And I like his the gun. Have you seen the gun that he has? It's like the Zorg or something, Zorg blaster or something like that.
The Liefeld gun.
Yeah, it is. But it has like all these like it has all these barrels and like little missiles like sticking out of it and everything. It's hilarious. But there's like this whole like underground world of people building those like Zorg guns or whatever they're called, just because it's like one of the most iconic guns in like cinema. They're so good.
Have you seen Tungsten's modified
Yes,
Nerf's gun?
dude, he is
Those
awesome.
things are awesome.
I know. Look at that
I'm
panel.
drawing, by the way, so you can continue to talk.
Yeah.
And
No. I'm just looking at the panel. That panel with Marsh right there is so good. So good. I love the cigar.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, that's old school right there. So I put a couple topics out there on the description, and I think it'd be fun to talk about while I'm drawing tonight. One of them being the new X-Men trailer. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
I haven't watched it.
And then the X-Men movies in general and how they might be related to, some of the new MCU movies, etc. And then also favorite Z-list characters, because we were just talking about that a little bit. So
yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I haven't watched the movie. Sorry, I haven't watched the trailer. Excuse me, I'm doing the yawning thing.
Well, you saw the teaser probably.
Yeah, I've seen it. I saw, I mean, it looks like every other X. It's like them fighting in a neighborhood, or like on a train or a tractor trailer. Like it seemed very similar to me.
Yeah.
And I guess I wanted more from like the Dark Phoenix saga. Like I wanted more of that comic and less of like what we've kind of already seen. And for some reason, like the casting's really what I thought was gonna be really good for those like the 80s, X-Men characters. But I just want them to can it and start fresh. Like let the Marvel casting people start fresh.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I think there is some strong characterization and strong acting in those movies. I think that one thing that I have not liked that the new movies have done is they've made Mystique too important. I don't feel like that character is really worthy of that. And so with Jennifer
Lawrence.
Lawrence as Mystique, I just feel like I've always felt like it's been a little bit overkill. I like Rebecca Romaine Stamos as Mystique, and felt like that was sort of a better play because she's obviously a beautiful actress, and Mystique has the ability to turn into whatever, but she's kind of a role player,
right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
more so.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know why Mystique is so important in this franchise. Like they've made her way more. And our boy Tyler Carpenter is in the chat, by the way.
Holy smokes!
The Macho Cave is lit tonight. Look at this. And Abe Sapien just jumped in.
What up, Abe?
It's lit up. It looks good. There's nothing really new up there, but it looks cool. But yeah, like I don't know why they've made her so important, like this big focal point of the whole movie franchise. There's so many more interesting characters that they could have gone with, I feel like. But
yeah, and no Colossus. They relegated Colossus to the stupid Deadpool movies.
Yeah,
and didn't give Colossus his really shining role. Like some major actor should have played Colossus, and they should have made him one of the focal points of the film.
Well, but let me tell you what's going to happen. Marvel's going to get a hold of. They've gotten back a hold of this, right? There's some guy that they've locked away in a room, and with a bunch of comic books and like access to Marvel Wikipedia, and he's writing something right now, and he better like. There's one fan service thing that he needs to put in, and it is a fastball special. If I don't see a freaking fastball special,
that's what it's all about.
On the big screen when Marvel redoes X-Men, I'm gonna boycott their movies. I think there's gotta be Colossus has got to pick Wolverine up and throw it into a Sentinel's mouth or through a window or like into some crazy thing, I've got to see it. It has to happen.
Yeah, and another element that I really want to see in X-Men is the Savage Land.
Ooh, Savage! I haven't even thought about that, but that could be kind of cool.
I think that would take it to a whole new level,
Yeah,
where you're really going real comic book, and you're getting out of the sort of uh, leather X-Men
yeah,
Fox category.
yeah.
Like just take them somewhere that's really crazy, like have dinosaurs and mutant cavemen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I like to see something real wild like that.
Yeah, that would be really good. That would be really good. Sean says I have that Rancor as well. Yeah, the Rancor. He's over there. Yeah, he's over there in the back. There's a really cool photo that I have up there that I'll show you sometime. But I bought it at the guy who did the puppeteering for Yoda. I bought it at his like studio. He lived on this little island in the Caribbean, and like I was on like a cruise. This is like 10 years ago, and we stopped on this island, and he was like selling these little prints, and it's from Empire Strikes Back. It's the guy in the Wampa suit, but the Wampa head is off, and it's just like a human head. It's such a cool photo.
You got me a gift from there.
Yes. Yep.
You actually brought me a gift back from the Caribbean. I think you were there on the anniversary or something.
It was like the first. So we had just gotten married. We hadn't been married very long, my wife and I, and her parents were like, "We're gonna go on this cruise, and we want everybody to come with us." And we went on this big cruise. So yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And while you were there with your wife, you were thinking of me, and
I was thinking of you,
and you bought me some kind of a picture of it was a signed photograph from the set of Superman.
Yeah.
And it was the scene where baby Superman is lifting the car up off of Pa Kent.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. It's kid Superman, because the guy that you met was working.
Yeah, he worked on a bunch of movies.
Yeah,
I think his name is. He has an interesting last name.
Well,
it doesn't matter.
Anyway, that scene was really cool, and he signed it in silver pen. So I still got it. I've got it.
That's cool, man. Michael Beacon says, "Any chance to bring dinosaurs in? I'm in." I agree. 100%. I agree. If it's like X-Men versus Jurassic Park, it's same around dinosaurs. It'd be really awesome. I say it should be at least a 3-part story. You're probably right about that. That's Abe said that. I think trilogies work really well, especially in like universe like this, and if it's going to be a big movie, because you're going to have to introduce so many characters for X-Men. It's another team movie. They've learned how to do that a little bit quicker, I think. Like with Guardians, that was like beautifully done. It says, and Sean says they'll have some other character besides Colossus, and even maybe Wolverine doing it. I really want them to have Colossus. Like, it's not right if it's not Colossus and Wolverine. That's the fastball special. If they have somebody else, if Captain Marvel picks up Wolverine and throws him in, I'm gonna lose my mind. I won't be happy with that.
Let me tell you the biggest casualty of this whole thing with Fox and Sony and Marvel. The biggest casualty is Tom Hardy, because he signed on. Because all these actors know that the big paydays are in these comic book movies, and so they're going to try to find a comic book movie. Well, he found one that he became Venom.
Yeah.
Now one day we might see Venom versus Spider-Man in a real good movie.
Yeah.
Right? And I hope that happens. In my opinion, like I'm not one bit interested in seeing Venom, because Venom without Spider-Man is not interesting to me.
Yeah.
Right. But he became Venom instead of Wolverine, and he was born.
He's Wolverine. Yeah, for sure.
To be Wolverine. Yeah. He would be the best Wolverine ever.
But Venom is a Sony property, and he could be Wolverine. He could totally be Wolverine. His voice is a little high for Wolverine, though, sometimes.
Have you ever seen that movie where he plays a bootlegger? I can't remember the name.
Yeah. It's the one that was based on like Franklin County, Virginia.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that in that movie, like, that is the sort of swagger the sort of like toughness that
Yeah.
Logan would have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a if anybody out there listens to podcasts, there's a really good one from Marvel. I'll tell you exactly what it is right now. It's Wolverine. It's called the Wolverine: The Long Night. There's a new one that's coming out soon. Actually, first episode's out of the second season, but Wolverine: The Long Night, and it's basically like it's a serialized like audio comic is the way you think about it, and it's really great. Like if you imagine when people like back in the 50s, they turned the radio on and they had these like serialized shows they'd listen to, and it'd be like whatever Buck Rogers or something like that.
Yeah.
He'd be like and so it was exactly like that, except it's Wolverine, and it's really, really well done. And all the like sounds like people walking in gravel and like picking things up, and it's like all in there. It's fantastic, and all the voice actors are really good. So I really recommend that. And it totally gets Wolverine right, I think. That's where I was going from that. It's because he has that, the guy who does the voice acting like really is like that gruff kind of Wolverine that kind of wants to be left alone but won't stand for the wrong thing, like always gets in the middle and gets into trouble because he's doing the right thing. It's really good.
I think that the X-Men franchise, like comic books included, kind of took a wrong turn when they made Wolverine the leader.
Yeah.
And the popularity of the character drove that. They wanted to put him out front all the time, so he was on every book, and but Wolverine's not a leader. Like he's not Cyclops, he's not Storm. He's a role player. He's the berserker.
Yeah, and he's also like Wolverine is kind of you know how in like Avengers Endgame, like Natasha, or like just Avengers in general. This isn't spoilers if anybody hadn't seen it, but like Natasha and Clint are kind of like, they're known as like assassins, and they've kind of done some bad things.
Mm-hmm.
Wolverine is that, and I kind of like him being in that role, that he's not afraid to do what needs to be done if it is the sacrifice needs to be made to save the world or whatever.
Yeah.
He's kind of that.
Yeah, he's heroic.
He's heroic, but
he's sacrificial in some ways, and brave and all that, but he's not a leader.
Right, he's not a leader. And I still think like if you're looking in the books, Cyclops is a great leader. I really like Storm as a leader when she was leading the X-Men.
She's my favorite.
Yeah, I really like that. And even like the X-Men cartoons in the 90s. She was kind of the leader in that in some of those episodes, or she was at least like the counterpart to Scott Summers, and I thought she was really good in that. Abe is saying he didn't like what they did with Storm. She was too passive or fearful, at least in the last movie. Yeah, so I agree in the movies. I think you're correct with that. But at least in the books, Storm was the leader that they needed.
And what's funny is people are always talking about how characters of color don't get a fair enough shake, and I think that it's interesting that how popular Storm is with everybody.
Yeah,
and they went out and they kind of like Halle Berry was Storm,
yeah,
and she didn't really bring a real power to that role.
Mm-hmm.
She was cool and interesting, and there's some visual elements about her as Storm that were really cool, but she never really was that amazing, powerful, weather witch that we saw in the 80s Marvel comics.
Yeah, and I hope that when they recast that, they really do it well. And because like she was kind of at least in the comics for me, she wasn't somebody that was loud and like in your face about stuff. Storm was kind of quiet, but when she spoke, it was like she carried a lot of weight with whatever she was saying.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about her so much, is because you kind of, Scott is usually, he's a little bit, emotional about every situation. Like he gets loud and he gets like frantic, right? But Storm was always the one that would like fly in and land and very calmly like tell you what's happening and tell you how you gotta like fix, like button it up and get the crap done and get it fixed. Like, and I thought she's such a strong character. They've done her a disservice in the movies. I agree with Abe on that. That she just hadn't been done right yet. So I'm excited to see who they may cast. I just hope they don't make her like sassy and like so confident that because her confidence was the strong silence that she had and how she could come into the room and say, this is what we need to do to fix this. Not that she's like sassy and she don't care what anybody says about her and she can, like come in, act like that. And they kind of did that with Domino and Deadpool, which is fine. Like, I think that character worked all right. But I really want to see Storm as this like strong, almost like matriarch character,
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Storm's power is immense. Right. Like she is one of the most powerful mutants.
She's like alpha level or whatever, or mega level.
Yeah. So you can't, if you're a person like that and you're a hero, then you spend a lot of your energy holding back.
Right.
Right. So that's what I think is interesting about the comic character of Storm, is that she's kind of got that leadership power, but it's because she's really holding back and she's not like giving it all in.
Yeah. Sean says, "Don't get sassy, Macho." But he brings up a really good point, and this is another one. Savage Land would be good, but also he says, "I still want to see X-Men versus the Brood on the big screen." That would also be amazing.
Yeah,
so X-Men versus Jurassic Park, X-Men versus Alien.
Yeah.
That would be a really good one. Almost like, it could be sci-fi action adventure, but it could also be a little horror. That'd be really cool. That's a great one. That's a really good one. You think a new Kitty Pryde? You want Kitty Pryde in this X-Men?
Definitely. I want to see Kitty Pryde and Colossus.
Yeah, I knew you'd say that. Yeah,
I want to see
the true love story that everybody should care about. Nobody needs to see. We don't need to see Jean and Scott again.
I don't know, who cares?
Who cares? We don't need to see it. Kitty Pryde and Colossus.
Yeah. Who cares about the three-way love connection of Jean, Wolverine and Scott? I mean, who cares? That is so boring.
It's just been done so much.
Yeah, let's see Kitty Pryde, falling in love with Colossus, who was one of the greatest X-Men.
Yeah. I know he's your favorite.
I love Colossus.
Yeah, he's a good one. I really like Wolverine. I'm in the majority of people that really like Wolverine. As a kid, he was one of my favorites. I have Wolverine action figures and stuff.
Yeah.
I always really liked Nightcrawler, and a lot of my friends thought I was weird because I like Nightcrawler, but he's such a cool character.
Oh yeah. I can't remember the actor's name that played Nightcrawler in X-Men 2.
He's fantastic.
But that's the one I think they got right. I really thought the kid that they got for this new group looks a lot like Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Like they got a great looking character,
Yeah.
But that scene in the White House in X-Men 2, that's awesome.
That's that was the best scene of that entire movie.
Oh, it's so good.
I can just watch that and I'm done. I'm trying to think who else I really like. X-Men characters, like some of my favorites. Man, Forge was cool. I liked Forge.
Oh man, I was about to say, Forge is actually very inspirational to me.
Yeah, he's a cool character.
And I really love Marrow. Remember Marrow?
Oh, Marrow's cool. I saw you mentioned that on a tweet today, and I totally had not even thought about Marrow. But yeah, it's a great one.
Yeah. A weird one, a Z-level character, like a Z character that I wanted to talk to you about was it Maggot? Remember Maggot?
Maggot, yes. Yep.
What's he say? He says, "Get with the times, Mutt-Man. Give that man a vape and ditch that poison." Remember the kid? No, baby. We're taking it back. We're taking it back to the 80s when men smoked stogies.
That's right. All the time, indoors. You could smoke in a restaurant.
That's right, and especially if you're the general of the most dangerous army on the planet, you blow smoke in people's face, and you don't care.
That's right.
No vaping in HIRO.
Uh, yeah. Maggot. Gosh. What about there's a character that is a kind of a newer X-Men character that I have not I don't really know a whole lot about, but it's Armor. It's a girl,
Yeah,
and she can kind of like have this like psionic armor or something. I thought that was kind of a
it is
cool
cool, but
character.
I don't like how they draw her. Like
Yeah,
I like the concept, but I don't
yeah,
like the character design. You know?
yeah, yeah. There's one too, and I don't know what the character's name is, but it's like a skeleton that looks like it's just like surrounded by like goo.
Blob. Yeah,
Blob. I don't know what it is. It's really funny though, because like it's kind of jarring if you see it in like a comic, and it's like all
yeah,
these like heroic look, and then a skeleton and like pink goo, and you're like, what is that?
yeah.
Yeah. Sean says Psylocke, very like fantastic character.
But you know what
Um,
I like though? I like Psylocke the way that they had her in this last X-Men movie.
yeah,
Definitely well good casting with Elizabeth Bunn or Munn.
Mun, yeah.
Looks just like her, perfect casting. But they didn't do enough with her.
Yeah, no, it was like very minimal, very minimal in the thing. Like, and they went full 100% comic book, like one piece leotard
Yeah,
thing wrapped around her leg. Like that was straight out of Jim Lee.
yeah,
It
right
was,
on.
and
They
she
had
did, and
it.
she sliced a car in half.
Yeah,
Um,
which was a cool scene.
yeah, the CGI wasn't great on that. Like
Yeah,
when they like get them flipping, like it wasn't great, but it was a cool scene.
yeah. You had a lot to say about that. I remember when you first saw it.
I was like, it doesn't look good, man. But anyway,
Yeah.
um, yeah. And so Abe says Chamber would be cool to see in Holocaust from Age of Apocalypse.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And who's the one? I like Chamber a lot. I used to love New Mutants.
So is it Chamber? Is he the one that has the?
He's sort of like a walking
But is he
explosion.
like the Firebeard one? Like he is like his bottom half of his face is on fire. Is that
That's
is
right.
that him? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a cool looking character. It's
yeah,
really cool.
yeah. He's really interesting.
Yeah.
Uh,
Ivan Ooze.
was Sunspot was
Oh,
Sun
Sunspot is X Force, I think, or X Factor.
was that a Rob Liefeld character?
It probably is. It's probably why you like him.
Oh no, never mind.
No, Sunspot. I don't think it was. I don't know if it was a Rob Liefeld. I'm gonna find out. Sean just said a Mega Red, and I love a Mega Red.
Oh,
Some people hate
baby.
on a Mega Red, but I really,
Oh
really
yeah.
like him.
Omega Red is one of the great Wolverine
Yeah,
bad guys.
yeah,
You could totally not do anything with Sabretooth and just
yeah.
replace it with Omega Red.
Yeah, I'm done with Sabretooth for a while.
Yeah.
I don't need to see him. But yeah, if you just when you redo X-Men, you can just insert Omega Red as the bad guy on that, and it'd be great.
Yeah.
And in I will say, like in the second Wolverine movie, The Wolverine,
Yeah.
and some people probably don't like it, but actually I liked that movie pretty good. Like Silver Samurai could have been better, I think, like the reasons behind what he's doing, but like the character was pretty good in that. I wanted him to have a better origin, but anyway,
Yeah.
he was like a robot. But it says that is this Sunspot? Yeah, Sunspot was created by Chris Claremont and Bob McLeod.
Oh, okay. I like him then.
Yeah, Chris Claremont, legit. Also, by the way, want to let everybody know we just made it over. Let me just do something. Let me make sure I'm not lying. We just made it over $4,300. $4,308.
Man, that's awesome.
113% funded.
Yeah, baby.
So yeah, just want to let everybody know that.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. I don't know why, but for some reason, I have been just dying to get over 4,300. I feel like there's something about it. I don't know what, but
yeah. What about Magic? Character.
Yeah, I mean, I think Magic was kind of like a product of like that. There's kind of like one storyline. I know Magic was
Yeah.
a part of New Mutants, and she had a role and an origin and all that. But there's like one storyline. I think it might have been. I can't remember the crossover. It's a big crossover event where like Magic opens up a portal to hell, and all the demons take over New York City, and and I think they really amplified her with that, and then that kind of like raised her stakes as a character. But she was never really all that interesting to me, you know. And I don't get the Rasputin family in that way, like she's Colossus's sister, right, but she's magical. Like he's very almost like
he's just like poor village Russian.
Yeah, and her mutant I don't like mutant magic. I feel like you're either mutant or you're magic.
Or you're magic, yeah.
Like it's the same thing with the Scarlet Witch. Like is she a mutant or is she magic? What is it?
Yeah. Sean says Deadpool and Wolverine Origins was awesomely terrible. And that was like that should have been a wake-up call for every franchise out there as to how not to like, oh, let's redesign them and make them like fresh and new. But that was like, how would you? I just don't get it. It was absolutely terrible.
Deadpool's a terrible character.
Abe says Warlock, who is like the weird cyber. Is he a Mojo World thing too?
No. He's just
a weird. Weird thing. I don't know enough about him to really give an opinion on that on Warlock.
I like Skin. I think Skin's an interesting mutant.
Skin, yeah. What about Bishop?
I actually really like Bishop, and I thought Idris Elba as Bishop was a really cool thing that didn't go anywhere.
It didn't happen,
I'm telling you, they had all these opportunities and didn't do anything with it. I think they just need more time. I mean, X-Men is a huge world.
Well, what we need to see is we just need to see fine.
You went all RoboCop on it. What'd you say?
Oh, sorry. I said when Marvel takes over, it's going to be fine. I'm going to cut my video because you're probably white boxed anyway right now.
Am I? No, I'm not.
You can white box yourself because your drawing's more exciting than me talking. But I think Marvel's going to do it right. They'll do it right when they recast. I'm just kind of scrolling through and looking at characters. Toad is.
Yeah, they did Toad, and they used Darth Maul guy.
Yeah.
Remember?
Ray Park.
Yeah. People forget how good that first X-Men movie was.
The first one was good, and especially for the time, it was very good.
Very good for the time. And I mean, like during that time, people weren't going to buy into spandex, just because of the time, and they did leather X-Men.
Yeah.
And it worked. It worked really well for that time period.
Yeah.
But now we've got it all, dude. We've
got it all.
You can have any kind of superhero on film.
Tell me your thoughts on Gambit.
My thoughts on Gambit?
Yeah, tell me your thoughts on Gambit.
Gambit was cool to me for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then he wasn't cool anymore. What about you?
I think I liked him for more than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I liked that he could charge things ability.
I like that. I like the powers.
His design is like, while it is interesting, I don't think it's great. He has another weird like headpiece thing. His spandex headpiece.
He was so 90s. His design is so 90s that it's just
90s.
Can't be stylish anymore. Yeah. They would have to, I think, to make him interesting to me, they would have to like redo the character design from movies.
Yeah. Michael Beacon says Baraka Pool is one of those yuppie producer ideas where you hope the guy who came up with it OD'd on coke. Yeah, he very well may have. Today we have Beta Gambit. Sean said, "Yeah, I know they did that to they unfortunately did that to Bishop as well.
Yeah.
They made him a little, not a little beta, a lot beta. Um, how about Jubilee?
I like Jubilee as a side character for um, playing off and having, sort of a younger character that's a little bit that can be in the action, but is a
Yeah,
little bit more just like high school,
yeah. Well, I kind of liked uh, the dynamic between her and Wolverine. Like
Yeah.
he definitely like took over kind of like a fatherly um
Yeah.
uh like tried to be more of a
Yeah.
father figure to her. He had like he wanted to protect her, and
Yeah.
she always seemed to get in trouble.
Yeah. What they were doing with Rogue in the first X-Men,
Yeah,
first and
they
second X-Men was really the Jubilee storyline.
yeah, exactly. And that it would have been, once again, it would have been better if they just would have done it, done it the right way, but that's
Mhm.
okay. What's your favorite Z list character?
Mine?
Yeah,
You
it could
know,
be X Men or anything.
well, I'm a Speedball fan.
That's right.
I like the New Warriors Speedball. I hated when they turned him into some goth character, uh, uh, but I loved the fact that you got this sort of like Spider-Man mentality character, silly, uh, funny quips, who literally bounces off stuff. That's his power, is that he
Yeah,
bounces,
yeah.
ricochets off things. To me, that's funny and interesting, and there's lots of stuff you can do with that. So I like him. He's my favorite Z list character.
I gotta let you know that our boy Trey #1man fan is in the chat.
Man, I was starting to get like worried. I'm so glad you're
He
here, Trey.
said so sad that Dark Phoenix is going full SJW.
Yeah,
Um,
it doesn't look like it's going to be the big galactic epic that it needs to be.
yeah, it's like the Shire, I guess,
So,
are should be involved in this. They're not going to be.
hey, you've got Marvel. You've got the Marvel Now app, right?
I do, yes.
Have you recently read the
Dark
Dark Phoenix?
Phoenix. No, I have it. Actually, I have it on my list.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back and read it. I was gonna bring up that I did read that that Squirrel Girl comic.
Are you serious? You
I
did
did.
that?
I read it because I said I would, and it is as bad as you could imagine.
Is it really? What's the
It's
art like?
um, it's not. I can't remember the art right off the top of my. I mean, the art is not terrible. It's not like that. There's some images you'll see when they draw Squirrel Girl, and she looks like she reminds me of the character from the Goonies. What's the guy's name that has the offset eyes? Sloth. She like reminds me of Sloth from the Goonies.
The drawing of her?
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it. But
Oh, man, that's funny.
uh, it just wasn't good. So the comic, and I don't have my notes on. I like wrote some notes out. I don't have them with me.
What was the
But
context of that? You were supposed to basically do a book report, right?
yeah, of a really bad comic, and
Yeah.
so we started off by picking that. We can pick another one tonight.
Yeah.
And so I picked that one, and it was really bad. And basically, I'm supposed to go read it and then report back what I thought.
Mhm.
And so it was basically. Let me see if I can pull it up and flip through it. I can even share my screen. Um, but it was not good. But yeah, I have Dark Phoenix Saga. You know, one that I did read to just see what it was like, because it got like a lot of really it's been selling out. Actually, they've gone on to like 5 printings. Is the Immortal Hulk? Have you heard
Mm.
about this?
Yeah, I know about it, but I've not read it.
It's all right. It's kind of interesting, and Hulk is kind of an anti-hero in this, because sometimes he goes full crazy and
Mm.
and destroy stuff, and it's not terrible. There's not a lot of it's a Hulk storyline, so there's only so much like stuff they can shoe in there to like make it like virtue signaling. It's all right. It's not bad. Hold on, let me see if I can find my Squirrel Girl. No, it wasn't Squirrel Girl. It was the Great Lakes Avengers. That's what it was. That's what it was. All right, so all right, let me find this. It's such a bad comic book. Same old is what it's called. So it really so what I don't like about it is that it makes fun of it kind of makes fun of superheroes like oh man, I gotta get back. I gotta find this comic. I'm sorry everybody that you're just listening to me talk about trying to find this comic. Let's see. Oh, we didn't ever talk about how Speedball killed a small town of people. Did we ever talk about that?
Yeah, I loved. I really did love Civil War.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was a great storyline, but that's the part I didn't like.
That-
They had to make one of the characters kind of the scapegoat, right? To kick off all the mutant or the superhero registration act.
Yeah.
And they made it him. He was the scapegoat.
Right.
Which I hated that because I thought he was kind of a cool kid, But I mean, I understand why they had to do it, but
Yeah, wait. You just said that correct me if I'm wrong, that Speedball is a cool kid.
yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure you said that.
What is going on?
With me?
Yeah. Why are you taking notes about certain things I say? It's like you're boning up to debate me about something.
Yeah, no, I am gonna do that. No, honestly, I'm concentrating on trying to find pull this comic up, and it's driving me crazy because I can't get it to do what I want to do. And consequently, when I pulled up my Marvel Now, there's like 4 Speedball comics like right on the front page. It's like you should read Speedball, the Masked Marvel.
So you like Squirrel Girl, so you should read Speedball.
I guess that's what it is. I guess that's what they're doing. I can't. Why can I not pull this thing up? It's driving me crazy.
Well, I know everybody's riveted to see Squirrel Girl come up on the screen, so definitely keep trying.
Yeah. I'm trying to get it figured out. I got my Marvel Unlimited. Okay, new releases. Why can I not look at what's in my personal accounts? Do you have any other really terrible characters that you like?
Well, yeah, I got lots of characters that I like that are not all that popular. Let's see. Well, I was telling you about Maggot. I thought Maggot was pretty cool. Like he had these 2 weird little bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like they would do all kinds of crazy things that were kind of like almost indestructible.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of interesting.
Maggot.
Yeah. And Bone or Marrow. I keep calling her Bone. Marrow was a really cool character. I mean, literally, she pulls bones out of her body,
and you can throw them. Well, what's the guy there's a guy in every single movie that's just kind of like hairy. You know what I'm talking about? He has like spines all over him.
Yeah, the porcupine.
Porcupine guy. He's in every movie, but he's not important at all.
Yeah, I don't know what his name is.
All right, help sign in registration consume. Like, how do I just don't know how I like see my comics, my digital comics. Maybe no, this is not it. Digital comic shop. I don't think so. Anyway, I don't own any digital comics. No, is this it? No, this is not it either. This is driving me crazy. You know what? It doesn't matter. I'll be ready next time with a better book report. So what we should do is if anybody out there in the chat, I'm gonna get back and look at the chat. I've neglected the chat for a while. Let's see. Trey says, let's get back up. Oh my gosh, I've missed so many. Sideways, I think, from DC is looking to be similar to Spider-Man. Abe Sapien says Callisto. And he says, I like God Loves Man Kills. It had some great moments in it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. That's a good one. Sean says, what do you guys think about the upcoming Skunk Girl? And then he says, hey, you guys, because I was talking about the Goonies at that point. Yeah, Manny is doing I don't know.
Unbreathable.
Unbreathable Skunk Girls, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm sure it's probably a super cool character, and I'll probably check it out. It might not be like what I am going for, but I see why he's doing it. It's a cool character. It's a funny concept. So we'll see what happens.
I like the whole, taking it away from Squirrel Girl.
Yeah.
It's a funny way to do it.
Yeah, and he said, and then Trey says, I can't tell if Skunk Girl will be satire if it's going to take itself seriously. I think it's going to take it's going to look like it's taking itself seriously, but it's ultimately going to be satire.
I think it's one of those things that like started out as satire, but because people really dig the design of the character,
it'll be a little wink and a nod. Yeah, a little wink and a nod. It'll be good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Michael says, no joke, I once drew Louis Anderson in a high school stick figure animation. It looks exactly like Woke Squirrel Girl. I'll DM it to you on Twitter. Okay, I would love to see it. I'd love to see that. Hulk was always an anti-hero. I know, Trey, but like he's way more of an anti-hero. He's not like coming in to like fight. In this comic, the Immortal Hulk, he's not coming in to fight. It's not like there's like an army and he's like coming in and he's beating up the army. It's like he's kind of like Dexter in this. He's kind of searching out people that do bad things low key, and then he's fighting them. But the kind of twist to the story is that he had Clint Barton. He made this special arrow and he shot him and he actually killed Bruce Banner, which I know is impossible because of the Hulk. But so what happens is he killed Bruce Banner, and so during the day, for some reason, Bruce Banner might die. He could be killed. He'd be stabbed or shot or whatever. But when it turns to night, then Hulk. He's always saying like it's his time, and Hulk will come back, and he'll be able to. Yeah, he just basically regenerates. But there was this scene. And the one of the ones that I read just recently where the Avengers are trying to get Hulk because he's just causing all this drama all over the place because he's Hulk. And they shoot him with this laser that Iron Man has made. And it like basically melts him into like a human puddle. And what they do is before he can like regenerate, they like cut him up into chunks, the Hulk, and they put him in these jars, right? And
weird.
he's like in these jars, and he's awake. Like his eye, he opens up, and this guy's doing this monologue. This evil dude's doing this monologue, and he's like, you're in there, and he's like, but you can't talk. And Hulk's like, you see him like smiling. He's like, why are you smiling? You're cut up and in these jars. I'm going to experiment on you. And Hulk's still smiling. He's like, what are you doing? What are you doing that for? It's driving him crazy. The Hulk is smiling at him. He can't take it. And then Hulk. You see his hand, and it's in like the Thanos snap position, and because I guess he can still control his hand. And he was like, "Wait a second," because the guy realizes his hand's in that position, and Hulk's smiling, and he snaps, and he snaps so hard it breaks the jar his hand is in, and then all the body pieces fall off the shelf, and he like regenerates, and he's in this. He's like it planned it out that he got into this like underground bunker. Because it is pretty cool. I like that scene. See, I've seen some images from the book. I don't know a lot about being chopped up. Oh yeah. So we were just talking about that. They just made him able to control his powers in some universe. That's kind of where this is. Yeah, Hulk can control his powers. Everyone hit the like button. Thank you, Sean. Oh, Michael was saying we're talking about Speedball at this point. He says he became a weird character called Penance, and he had he had the interior of his suit lined with spikes, so he'd feel pain, and that it was like pain is what gave him his power. I think in that.
Yeah, like what a depressing character.
Yeah, it's the most depressing character ever. Sean says, "Look at the lazy eye on the zoom in."
This guy right here.
Yeah, that's Boone. That's Boone's lazy eye right there.
Yeah, I'll fix all that. I'll fix it.
Yeah, Paige is looking good. Man, I wish I could figure out how to. Let's pick up another. All right, anybody in the chat, if you have opinions on a terrible comic for me to read.
Yeah, what's a terrible comic that you'd like to make Macho read?
Like, give me a terrible comic and I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna find it on my Marvel Now app. Oh, you know what? I can find it on my. I can do it on my phone. Let me do it on my phone. That'll pull it up.
What about Thor, the girl Thor storyline?
Yeah, I really don't want to read that at all.
That might be a good one.
All right, let's see. Great Lakes Avengers. Here we go. I want to see if I can figure out how to pull this up on my computer. I'd love to share the screen. So, let me pull this up. Page 1. So in this book, there's like it starts off and there's this lady, and she's in her office. Her name's Mrs. Ferrari, and she's kind of a jerk, and she's like yelling at her assistant. And the assistant's just trying to be this. She's like this nice, earnest young lady, and she's trying to like do make it big in the city. And this lady, her boss, is just yelling at her, and she's like trying to tell her that there's this big deal. It's something with the Avengers, and so the lady finally realizes this assistant's trying to help her, and she goes to this appointment that she gets, and it's about the Great Lakes Avengers. And what happened is there's a guy named his name's Flatman, and his power is that he can be completely flat like paper, and he's kind of like Mr. Fantastic, except he can only do those like stretchy things if he's flat, 100% flat. It's a really bad character, but he's like this really sad. Excuse me, I'm yawning. This really sad individual. He's sitting on his couch. He's like playing video games, and people keep knocking on the door, and it's this lady, and she comes in and she's like, "Listen, we found out that you actually filed a patent or filed a let's see." He was using the Avengers name without permission, but he filed a trademark for the Great Lakes Avengers. And so, like she's like a attorney or whatever. And she's like, "So Mr. Stark let me know that he actually lost in court because you filed this trademark." And so she's like, you're in the Avengers now because we have something going on. So, they talk to him. It's like 3 pages of them talking to him. It's incredibly boring. Mm-hmm. And then Flatman calls in the Great Lakes Avengers back to start getting the team together, right? And so Big Bertha comes in, and she looks like every SJW's like fantasy. Like she's got the shaved side head, short hair, and she's like, it's nighttime, and she's wearing sunglasses, and she's a large woman, and she has her, she's proud of her body, and she, my body, my choice, and all that. And so she comes up, and they're talking. Then Flatman's like, try to get Squirrel Girl. She's not coming, and Squirrel Girl's hanging out with Miles Morales and new Captain America and female Thor in a restaurant doing the same thing. Then out of nowhere, Doorman comes out, who is basically like he basically can go through, like, he can teleport. That's his thing, and he looks like Spider-Man, the black suit Spider-Man, except his eyes are diamonds. They talk about nothing for at least 3 pages, and then some. Let's see, what is this guy's name? Some sort of evil guy comes in. He was a terrible design. He looks like a wood stove with like a bunch of pipes on him, and he is on fire, and he's running around. And so he kind of crashes through a neighborhood, and then all the 3 heroes, Big Bertha, Doorman, and Flatman, get into Flatman's Winnebago and start driving from Detroit to their sweet new headquarters. And Firebrand, and that's the guy that looks like a wood stove. Like him and some other lady are having some conversation. Like, it's really boring. They having a conversation about nothing. Big Bertha does save the day by knocking a gate down because she's so strong. Because Flatman couldn't get through the gate, and Doorman couldn't get through the gate, even though he can teleport and stuff. So Big Bertha knocks it down for them. And then it ends, the last page of the book. There is let's see, Mr. Immortal is in a coffin, and he's like trying to get away from the world, and he's like laying in a coffin. I don't know why he's laying in a coffin, but he's there. And that was it. That's my review of Great Lakes Avengers #1, and it was awful.
Wow. It was hard to listen to.
Yeah, and I kind of rambled through most of that, but so I'm sorry, everybody.
You did good. You did really good.
Yeah.
You clearly made it so that no one wants to look at that comic.
Yeah, it's really bad. So next time I'm gonna figure out how to get it on the screen. So whatever the next terrible book is, I'm gonna be able to share and like show you the pages, and I'll have something actually written out. So there's probably nobody watching anymore because I just talked about that for so long. But anybody out there, if you have an idea, give me a really terrible comic. I'll read it.
Yeah,
I'll read it and give
anything.
you anything. It's like, it has to be Marvel because I have that app. I don't have like DC or anything right now.
Yeah, it has to be Marvel.
Let's see what's on the app. Maybe I can give you guys some ideas.
Yeah.
Let's see, new this week. There's a bunch of Black Panther, Dead Man Logan. Although Dead Man Logan is done by Declan Shavely. Yeah. I really like his art. There's an Infinity War #2 about Arachnite, which I'm guessing is like Moon Knight and Spider-Man mixed up. Oh no, God, I don't even want to say this one. Ironheart #1.
Oh, Ironheart, that's the one.
There might be more. Let's see. There's some really great Wolverine books I feel like I should read. There is some Speedball from like 88, 89.
Mm-hmm.
That might be good.
Mm-hmm.
Popular this week.
You know what I think you should do? You should go classic, and you should go back and read the Clone Saga, Spider-Man Clone Saga.
Is that that's with Ben Reilly.
Yeah, I think I've never read it because I've only heard that it's terrible.
Abe said Quicksilver. There's probably some bad Quicksilver books.
Oh yeah.
Or is that your favorite C-list character? A Clone Saga. 2009. Yes, it's gonna be bad.
One More Day was pretty bad, but there was some pretty cool stuff in it though. That
Clone Saga is not long. Clone Saga 1 of like 6. You've been asking for it, and now it's here. The Clone Saga, Marvel's most controversial event of all time, returns with a vengeance. No, I don't think so.
It's definitely not the most controversial. It's just bad.
It's definitely not.
The most controversial is probably One More Day because of the the way that they brought everything back to normal after they messed it all up.
One More Day. Let's see. What is that? I'm not getting it.
One More Day was by Joe Quesada.
I don't see it. I don't see it in here.
Mephisto makes a deal with Peter Parker.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me see if I can find. It's probably an event. Else characters, creators, comic events. That's what it is. Dead No More, the Clone Conspiracy. Let's see if I'll find Quesada. Let's see, Quesada. Where the heck is it? Yeah, I can't find it. I don't know why.
Might not be on there.
Yeah. Oh wait, not characters, creators. There we go.
But I think Clone Wars, if you or the Clone Saga, if you've got that on there, that might be the
I can
one.
totally do that,
because that one's kind of the one of the worst apparently, according to everybody.
Lazy I know more. Hashtag lazy I know more. I can do, but it's a Spider-Man book. I feel like it's got to be better than. Do you know when that thing was done? The one more day or whatever.
I want to say that's like 2005-ish, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe 2009.
I'm looking to see if I can find it right now. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna use the internets.
Do that.
One More Day, Spider-Man. 2007. Joe Quesada, yep. All right, let's see. Spider-Man, One More Day. Comic events. No. No, it's not on here. Hold on. That's weird. I figured it'd be on here. The Amazing Spider-Man 545. Series. You still there?
Yes, I am. I'm drawing.
You got to fill for me, man. You got to fill. Too much dead air.
Okay. Well, right now I'm drawing Boone.
Tell us about Boone.
Boone is one of our favorite characters. He's kind of like Colossus,
That's a good comparison.
Like he's a big guy, and he's from Detroit. He's a tough guy. He's got a kind of a mean streets backstory, but he's loyal to the bone when it comes to Dr. Krupin.
Yeah.
So that's why I like loyal characters like Colossus. he's like, Chewbacca. Like he's powerful and he's always going to have the back of the protagonist.
So there is a comic called The Many Loves of the Amazing Spider-Man. Looks awful.
The Many Loves.
Yeah, it's not on here. Clone Saga though is on here.
Yeah, just do that one.
Make the decision. Unless anybody else has the Clone Saga. Yeah, that's the 2009 one. Because the Clone Conspiracy is the one with Doc Ock. All right, add to library. It's in there.
Cool. Yeah, I'll be interested to see because some people, defend it.
Yeah.
But
Some
yeah.
people really like that Ben Riley character.
Yeah.
Sean says, I'm old. Anything after 2000 is automatically suspect. Agreed. And Abe Sapien said Heroes Reborn. But that is Heroes Reborn DC?
Oh, dude, Heroes Reborn is when the Image guys came back to work for Marvel. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where the worst rendition of Captain America that's ever been put to paper came out.
You know though that Liefeld wasn't even working for Marvel when they did that. They contracted him out. He was still at Image when that happened.
Yeah, and it made all the Image guys super mad.
Yeah. No, and it made all the everybody was mad. It made Marvel mad, and Marvel like artists and writers mad.
Yeah, like here's this guy who left Marvel and like basically took the huge portion of business with them, and then Marvel goes and hires him back, and he goes back and works for the enemy. Like he made a point to say we're not doing mainstream anymore. We're going to do our own thing, and then he turns tail and goes to work for the enemy.
Oh yeah, I know this exact issue. That's Jeff Loeb and Rob Liefeld.
Yeah.
06. Let's see. Publication date 06. Let's see if I can find this.
You know what was almost equally as bad was Jim Lee working on Fantastic Four. I love Jim Lee, but
yeah,
that was not a good match.
Yeah. But this is weird because they don't have. Is this 06 really? No, it's not. They. Oh, hold on, I lost my train of thought. Trying to look for this book. There's some bad stuff in here. Like I'm flipping through, and there's some weird stuff. You know, there's one that I started reading based on the recommendation from somebody. Like it was like a podcast or something. But there's have you ever read much Century? You know anything about Century?
Yeah, I thought Century was cool for a little bit, and then after they kind of developed a character out to what they wanted to do with him, I did not like it.
Yeah. So there's a series where it's like Century he kind of fell off the map and he's gone.
Yeah.
But the guy who is Century, he wakes up, he's like in this house and he wakes up and he realizes that his enemy, and I can't remember his big enemy's name, but like his enemy's back and he can feel it, and he's like remembering that he's Century.
It's like the Void or something.
Yeah, the Void. Yeah, and he's like remembering through these like flashbacks of like when he was Century and how he was like this superhero, and nobody else remembers him though. Like the rest of the world is like forgotten about the Century.
Yeah,
and so he's like no, he's trying to like go to the Avengers and be like, no, I'm Century. I'm this hero. I need to come back and save you because the Void is back. And the only way I know the Void is back is because I remember this stuff. And I haven't got too far into it. It's pretty interesting though. I don't know much about. So he's basically the Marvel Superman.
Yeah, he gets his power from the sun, I think, even.
Yep. Hey, Abe has a quick question too. Yeah. Sorry to keep jumping, but I'm sorry, I'm yawning. I'm tired. He says, quick question. Does HIRO have an overdrive mode? Like if the host is damaged almost to the point of not being able to move when the 2 days are up? Yes, he does. So if you've ever watched one of those like Boston Dynamics videos of like the dog robots running around, he can get up and he can move around kind of like that, and so he can go from host to host.
Yeah.
Mobile. And then Sean says it's all Art T Bear's fault. Wow, for 06 stuff. Was RT Bear wasn't on any of that stuff. He stayed out of that fiasco, I think.
He's a journeyman, dude. He's worked for everybody.
Yeah.
He's worked on every book.
Yeah. I still to this day, one of my favorite books that I own is Cable #1 by Art T. Bear.
Yeah.
It's a good comic.
T. Bear's the
I would
man.
love to get Art T. Bear to recognize me enough to just be able to be at a con and get him to sign that. I'd love that.
What's cool is like I got inking advice from Art T. Bear.
Yeah, I mean he's legit. And he'll hang. I mean he'll talk to you if we're able to get on. He was watching a stream of ours at one point, I think, and
What?
wasn't that no? When was it that weren't we on somewhere and he? Oh no, it was on it like Doug Tenaple or something. You got on. Is that what it was?
I got on. I got on Ethan's. I got
Ethan,
on EBS
that's what it was. Yeah.
one time. Yeah, it was like when he accidentally put the link in the chat in the description.
Yeah.
I jumped in, and it was Kanan White and Art T. Bear, and they gave me advice, some inking advice, which was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, he's cool. He's awesome. He still makes good stuff.
Oh yeah. I actually think black and white looks really good, and the colorist that they got for that is just phenomenal.
Yeah. All right. I'm trying to look and see if there's really other bad comic books. Yeah, Sean says he's looking forward to black and white. Yeah, I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be real good.
You know what I'm really wondering about is Red Rooster.
They've been getting some flack for like not getting it out. Is that right?
Well, I think they had some big commitments to fulfill.
Yeah.
And that may have taken a little bit longer than they wanted it to.
It still looks so good. It looks so cool.
What I've seen looks good, but I mean, I think I'm so curious about like what that's gonna end up looking like. You know, what it's gonna be. I mean,
yeah.
I want to see that one.
Nobody's giving me any terrible comics.
Well, maybe they don't want to say the comics they think are terrible.
That's fine. What about Sleepwalker? Have you ever read any Sleepwalker books?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, Sleepwalker's pretty bad.
Whatever you think is bad, somebody loves.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nah.
You know, so
Mike Miller once complimented the opening panel on Seven Legions. That was awesome. That's cool, man. It always feels good when like somebody with major street cred will be like, oh yeah, this looks cool.
Yeah.
We did, you know, the other night, Edwin had put on. He showed our comic to Ethan on like a quick. It was just like a very quick thing. It's like right at the end of the show, and he was going through and showing some stuff, and he did comment and say when he showed Mutt's cover for HIRO, the new cover, he was like, "Oh man, that cover's great," and I was like, "Dang." EBS. He doesn't say that to everybody, that's for sure.
That's right.
Death's Head 2. That is a great one, Abe. Death's Head.
Now that's English. English, right?
Yeah. Yep. But that character.
Mm-hmm. You might end up liking some of these things.
I have Death's Head. I have some of that, and I do like it.
You guys don't understand how bad Macho's taste in comics is. I mean, he really believes that Rob Liefeld is one of the top 10 creators of all time.
That's true. It's because he is. Yeah, Death's Head. Yes. So good. I gotta see if I can find some Death's Head on this. There's gotta be. They've gotta have Death's Head. D C D. See if I can find it here. How about Dark Hawk? Read some Dark Hawk.
Dude, I used to love Dark Hawk.
I think I have Dark Hawk #1. I'm pretty sure. They don't have Death's Head as a character on this.
Well, he's only like Marvel Europe.
Is it really that only one? I definitely have some Death's Head comics though. Marvel Europe. Now I'm gonna look. Let's get some Dark Hawk. Yes, Dark Hawk is awesome. He fought Nova. Wow, look at that.
I like Nova pretty good as a character.
Nova's a cool character. So Dark Hawk #1, 1991. Oh my goodness. I'm totally gonna read this. He looks like if Knight Rider's car kit became a superhero. Add to library. Definitely reading that.
It's like a cosmic suit, I think.
Yeah. There's Dark Hawk and Punisher team up issue.
Yeah.
That's pretty great. And Dark Hawk and he's in the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
See, he's also Dark Hawk. He was in Avengers #1 in 1998. How about that?
It's crazy.
He's in a number of Avengers books.
They used to put Punisher in every single comic.
Punisher?
Yeah. It was like a Punisher crossover, a Wolverine crossover, or a Ghost Rider crossover.
Oh, hey, Sean's getting out of here. Sean, you're a boy. Thanks, man, for hanging. And Abe says, Death said 2. He said the Renegade Captain America. And then he asked, do we like, he loves Dark Hawk as well. He threw the link in there one more time. Thanks, Sean. You get out of here, brother. We appreciate everything you do. Thanks for the most funny tweets I've had in a long time today.
Yep.
And then Abe says, old Nova or young Nova. So I'm a Richard Rider. I'm not the, what's the new kid's name? Is it Richard Rider?
You're a Richard Rider?
Yeah, I'm a Richard Rider. Like, is it Richard Rider fan?
Oh my gosh.
Richard Rider? I think it's his name.
I don't know, but whatever you're saying right now is really funny.
I'm so tired. Let's see. Well, I'm just gonna look through some characters, and we're gonna find some good characters for me to read about. Let's see. Cloud9. He's Cloud9. Oh, this is a Fear Itself book. This is something stupid. Bulldozer. You know who Bulldozer is? He's in Captain America #133, and he's in a few Avengers books. Oh man, this is gonna be good. Bulldozer. Look at this.
But as riveting as it is, you
gonna get out of here?
I gotta go to bed.
I'm tired too, and I'm just sitting here. I'm literally just looking at my Marvel app trying to find terrible things to read.
That's why we do what we do, man.
This is you guys. This is free entertainment. You're watching for this free entertainment. And then Abe gave me the group series that came out of Ghost Rider. I don't know what that is, but I would be willing to read it. How about Mulholland Black? Mulholland Black. The Order. I'm going to read an issue of The Order. 2007's The Order. They're a group of LA-based superheroes who can be fired at any point along the way. And if they survive a whole year, they'll face mandatory retirement. If you had 1 year to save the world, what would you do? That sounds awful, and I'm gonna get it. And on that note, I think we should close this down. Abe, if you get that group, or if you think you're giving me a lot of good ammo, so if you have some terrible comics, send them my way. I'm gonna pick one and I'm gonna do a review, and I'll try to have a better presentation next time. It's a good looking page, brother.
Yeah, man, it's coming along. I could work on these things constantly, but I think what I'll do is I'll move on while we I'll move on to the next one, and then I'll come in and add some different effects.
That panel where Marsh is poking Crouppen in the chest.
Yeah,
that's a great one. That's a great one. I like it. You did great on his face right there. He just looks like smug, and he's just in charge, and he's blowing smoke right up in his face. It's so good.
Yeah. The dialogue right there is going to be real kind of like nothing you do is secret.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
He's like our Nick Fury. Like he
Yep.
knows everything that's going on, and
Yep.
nothing that anybody thinks they'll never get over on Marsh.
Right. Yeah, dude, it looks so good. Can't wait to see that colored by Vegas.
I know it.
It's gonna be so good.
I know, man. It's getting good.
All right.
Cool, man. Well,
Hey,
thanks
everybody.
everybody.
Thanks, Abe, Sean, Michael Beacon. Thanks for hanging out, brother. We always like you. Trey, #1ManFan.
Yeah, baby.
Tyler, he's long gone, but thanks, Tyler. Anyway, we love
Tyler.
you.
Yeah.
Peace out, guys. Hit me up, Abe, in the DMs. I'll catch you guys later.
Later.
Drop a
Peace.